All right, hello everyone. This is going to be a quick tutorial on how to use your terminal. This first video will be on using Macs or Linux. And the second one we're going to do is going to be using PCs. But basically, what I want to teach you, and very important for you to know, is how to use your terminal, how to use command prompt or text-based interactions with your computer. So right here on the left-hand side, I have my terminal window. To get to the terminal window, you can just press Command spacebar, and obviously this is for Macs. So you get terminal, you click on terminal, open up this window. This is how you can interact with your computer. This is the same as doing clicking and double clicking and open up different folders. You can do all of that here in the terminal as well. Okay, so let's get started. So here, when we open it up, the first thing you'll know is that it'll say last login. This is going to tell you when you were last logged into this computer. It's going to tell you your user, Reed Sanchez, at the computer you're at. So this is the computer name, right? Edwin's MacBook Air. And this is the user. So when you log into your computer, you usually log in as a user. Okay? If you want to know where you are, now remember, this is just a file system, right? And if you look here, right, on my left-hand side of my Finder windows, I have Reed Sanchez. I have a bunch of folders in here already. Okay? And actually, I'm going to erase some of these. It doesn't matter. Okay, but if I do PWD, what it's going to spit out is users Reed Sanchez. So this is like the folder structure of my computer. You can see right here, Reed Sanchez. And this, if I actually bring up, let me see if I can bring it up, preferences, here, right? If I look at MacBook Air, right? And if I go to here's users, here's Reed Sanchez, right? So users, Reed Sanchez, you can see that, users, Reed Sanchez, on my Edwin's MacBook Air computer. Edwin's MacBook Air computer, this is my hard drive, users, Reed Sanchez, and then here is a bunch of files, okay? So, I'll go directly here. So that's PWD. That's a command that shows you what folder you're in. Now, if I want to see what items are in that folder that I am in, I do LS. That stands for list. LS stands for list, okay? Do that. It's going to show me everything that's in this folder, right? And if you look, right, applications. Some of these are hidden files. So applications parallels, Creative Cloud. So all of these are going to show the folders first and then the files. So like CSN100, CSN101, all of these, 102, 104. Okay? So that shows all the files that you're in. Now, if I want to go into one of these folders, I'm just going to go into, say I want to go into the CSN100 folder, right? Let me just clear it. I can do that by typing clear, right? Here, down here you see clear, clears it. If I want to go into the CSN100 folder, you do CD CSN100. And now I'm in the CSN100 folder, right? I'm in the CSN100 folder, and if I do LS, it's going to show the file blue, which is what you see here. If I want to step out of the folder, so right now, if I do PWD, right, it's going to show me I am in users Reed Sanchez CSN100. If we look here, I'm in users Reed Sanchez CSN100, right? I'm here. And you can see it's going to tell you what folder you're in right next to this part of the output, right? Okay, if I want to get out, I want to get back into just the E. Sanchez folder, I'm going to do CD space dot dot, and now I'm back out. Now I'm in this area. So if I do PWD, right, I'm now in users, E. Sanchez. If I do LS, it's going to show all those files all over again, right, all these files. Okay, so now, let me clear it again. So just to review, CD goes into a folder, right, CD, and the name of the folder goes into that folder. If I want to get out of that folder, it's CD space dot dot, and that steps back out, okay? Okay. Now, let's make a folder. So we're going to make the folder, and it's mkdir, make directory, right? And the folder I'm going to make is CSN150, okay? And as you can see, it pops up here, right? I just made that folder. Now, if I want to get into that folder, right, I'm going to do CD CSN150. And now I'm in this folder. If I do LS, nothing's going to show up because there's nothing here. Okay? So now that I'm in here, now be sure right now, this is where you're going to have to take screenshots and send to me. Okay? Because we're going to be working from the CSN150 folder. I want you to make a folder, or actually two folders. One's your first name and one's your last name. So mkdir, right, Edwin, mkdir, read Sanchez. Now I've made the two folders, okay? Get that? So now what I want you to do is to go into each of the folders. Well, I'll go into them. So if I want to go into Edwin, now I'm in the Edwin folder, right? And in the Edwin folder, I'm going to make a file. To make a file, there's several ways to make a file. The easiest way to make a file is touch, right? And you just give it a name. So touch, I don't know, we could call it touch Bob, right? And now I created the Bob file, okay? There's nothing in this Bob file. It's just a file, okay? So I'm going to go out. I'm going to go out of Edwin and go into read Sanchez. So to get out, to go back out, I got to do CD space dot dot, right? Now I'm in the CSN150 folder, which is this right here, right? And now I want to go into the read Sanchez folder, so CD read Sanchez, and then an LS, nothing there, right? So I'm going to want to make a file here, and then we'll call this, I don't know, Tom. So I would do touch Tom, and there's Tom, okay? All right, so what I would want you to do is take a screenshot that shows me that you've made the CSN150 folder, right? So I can see the commands here, these folders, your name folders, and that you have files inside of them, okay? So now, next thing, let's actually add some information or data into each of these files. So let's start with the Tom, since we're already here, okay? There's a couple ways to actually add text. The easiest way, well, they're both pretty easy, but one way to do it, actually before I move on, let me just explain what each of these commands are doing. Each of these commands, touch, ls, cd, mkdir, you could think of these as small programs, tiny programs that execute what they're supposed to do, right? And they're very good at doing it. Make directory is really good at making folders, right? And in fact, right, if I wanted to make directories right now, I could do a couple things. I could make multiple directories at the same time. I do 1, 2, 3. And this is going to make directories 1, 2, and 3. You see that? I made 3 directories at the same time with the make directory command, okay? So it's very good at doing this. Now, back to what I was saying before. Let's put some information in Tom, okay? Nothing is in here right now. But you can do echo quotation, Tom is a good person, close quotation, greater than sign, Tom. So what this is doing right? The term echo is a command, and if you know what an echo is, you say hello, and then it responds back to you, hello, 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 hello. That's an echo, right? You're saying something and it's returned back to you. So what you're saying here, you're telling the computer, hey, I want to echo, or I want this to return back to me the information that is after the command. And it has to be in quotations because that's how it knows what to return. And I want that to return it into, using this greater sign, I want it to return into the Tom file. So if I press enter and I look at Tom now, right? If I double click this Tom, right? Tom is a good person, right? So now I was able to echo this text into the Tom file, okay? There's another way to edit files. There's something called a file editor. Okay, a file editor is like text edit. There's one called Nano. Okay, and if I nano Tom, here it is. Tom is a good person. I can just edit here. Now remember, you can't use your mouse to move stuff around. You have to use your arrow keys. Tom is a good person. This is a great program. Right? Now to close this, your menu items are here at the bottom. Remember, everything is text-based now. No, you can't just click on this. You got to do Control X. It's going to ask you if you want to save modified buffer. That means this file has been modified. Do you want to save it? You can say yes, no, or cancel. If you want to save it, just type Y. And now it says file name to write Tom. Okay? You just need to write that file. You just press enter. And now, if we double click Tom, right? Here it is. You've written into that file. Okay? So, what I want from you guys is to show me that you did these commands, echo and nano, into files that are in both your first name and last name folders, right? So I need to see pictures, evidence. So if I want to get into Bob, what am I going to do? I'm going to go CD back because I'm getting out of the Reed Sanchez folder, right? LS, those are the two folders. I'm going to CD into Edwin, right? LS, there's Bob, and now I'll do nano Bob. Okay, Bob is so cool. Let's go back to actually write his name correctly. Bob, we do Control X, save modified buffer, yes, write to name, okay. And now let's double click here, right? And here, Bob is so cool, okay. All right, so these are just some basic tools that you can use to navigate your file system, right? So PWD shows you where you are. Make directory makes a directory, makes a folder. Touch makes a file. You can echo stuff into your files. You can use Nano as a text editor to edit your files, right? And something else you can do is something called catenate. Catenate is just showing you what's inside the file. So if I cat Bob, it's just going to return to me what's inside the file, okay? Now, anything can be catenated. Okay, so even pictures. So if I go back out, right, LS, and I back out again in LS, right, and maybe I'll go into, actually I'm going to go into my desktop. And let me clear it so we can do LS, right, and I'm going to go into my screenshots folder. So here's a bunch of screenshots. Let's clear it, LS, yeah. So basically, I'm in this screenshots folder. There's a bunch of stuff here. There's a bunch of pictures. So let's just take like this breakfast. This is a picture. No, let's look at cute dog, transparent PNG background. Okay. So if I clear, and if I do cat, I'm just catenating, right? I'm just going to return what's inside this file. So, pro tip, if you just type a few things and you press tab, it's going to autocomplete, right? So let me show you that again. I just type CU, right? If there's no other CU thing in here except for that, and I press tab, it autocompletes, okay? So what cat's going to do is going to return to me what's inside this file, which is a picture. Now, this is a text-based platform, so it's not going to look like a picture. It's going to look like this, a bunch of gobbledygook. But what you have to understand is that your computer in the text-based format is converting the picture into its text equivalent. Okay? So this is what so any file can do this, right? So it's just so that you can understand, right? You can understand that everything can be converted from its more complex file to its more basic, right? And you can even get more basic. Zeros and ones is what it really goes down to. But this is basic in terms of a terminal-based reflection of what you're seeing. Okay. Other pro tip for people that use um, Mac. Actually, I think this works in PC too, right? Say here's a PDF. You can just drag it in. Say I want to cat this. You can just drag it in and I can cat it. Okay? Something's going on, right? What's another? Maybe I could do something else that is probably more text-based. Let's go back to the desktop. Is there anything else that's text-based? I don't see anything really text-based. Maybe this one. This is probably text-based. So this is a VPN file. Okay, so if I do cat space this, right? Yeah, this is a text-based file. Right. So it's just showing me what's inside this file. This is actually a configuration file for a VPN. Okay, it includes the static keys and all the other information that you would need. The ciphers, the authentication, compression, blah blah blah. Okay, so anyway, that's a quick primer. Your task, right, is to just make some files, make some folders, and take screenshots of those and submit those. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to do this in PCs. All right, great.